Hello, hello. New setup? Who is she? I was coming to sit down to do a reading, and why was the first thing that I heard was, who do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, I guess that's the topic today. Thank you, Spirit. Who do you want to be when you grow up? Let's find out. You don't want to be, that was too many cards. You don't want to be like yourself from the past. You don't want to be like past versions of yourself. You don't want to be like the people that once came before you. You don't want to fall out of a coconut tree. Woo! Okay. You want to be emotionally in tune. You want to be emotionally intelligent. You don't want to be, what's the word? Impulsive. You don't want to be hot-tempered. You want to be cool, calm, and collected. And you want to make choices and make decisions in your life coming from a cool emotional place in your body. You're calm, right? You are coming from this in a level-headed approach, right? You can see all angles and all sides of whatever the situation is, good or bad, right? But you can do that in a way that you are going to be able to evaluate each thing. The way she's holding these two items in her hand, that's like a chalice, and that is, honestly, I don't know what that is. It's some sort of round object, but you're going to be able to look at these things and say, yes, they are different, but also see the pros and cons in each. Okay. Seven of Cups. You no longer want to be confused. You no longer want to be in this energy of wondering what's going on or like fighting against your emotions. So here she's like in the water, but she's looking up, which is like in the air, right? Representative of the air signs, the mental capacity. And the same thing here, Six of Swords. You are avoiding the water, you're avoiding the emotions, and you're being too in your mind. So you want to have a good balance between that. You don't want to be too emotional and not enough logical, and you don't want to be too logical and not enough emotional. And Nine of Swords. You no longer want to have these anxieties about what is the right choice to make in your life. Because who do you want to be? You want to be someone that is confident in yourself. You want to be someone that's confident in your choices and your decisions. You don't want to be plagued by this indecision or this wondering and worrying of if I'm making the right move, if this is the right step to take. You don't want to be surrounded by conflict anymore in your life. You want to be someone that is comfortable in themselves, someone that loves themselves. The sense of self-love is coming here, but also the sense of making choice, which this is also self-love, but making choices that are fueling for you despite whatever the other noise is, despite what else is going around you, despite whatever other opinions may have to exist about you doing these things. So even if it is considering you leaving something behind, because that is for your ultimate emotional fulfillment, that's what you want to be doing, you don't necessarily need to pay attention to everything else that's going to go on or all the talk that will come because of you doing that thing. Anything else, Spirit? What else do we need to know? Eight of Swords. You don't want to be someone that holds yourself back from doing the things that you wish you were doing. Like, you don't want to be 30 looking back on, all the things I wish I did in my 20s. You don't want to be 40 looking back. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be gaining all these years of just working or of just living but not really living in just a sense of surviving and just going through the motions, but you don't want to look back on your life and have these regrets for all these things that you didn't do. So maybe I'm speaking definitely to a different collective here than what I normally pick up for. Hey, how are you? Page of Cups. You have a lot of things that it is that you want to pursue or that you want to accomplish, and these mean something to you. They definitely do mean something to you. Yeah, the world. I was almost going to say, even like this could even be like something that you want to accomplish, right? That's going to bring you this sense of fulfillment in your life. Something that you want to accomplish or that you want to complete maybe before this decade is up, whether it be this decade, like meaning before 2030, the year 2030, or before, maybe you are like 26, 27 years old, or like before you hit the next decade going into it, right? Something like that. So whatever your age is, 37, 47, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm getting here with this, with the world card in this storyline. It's you want to have these things done before you reach a certain milestone in your life, so that once you do get to that point, you're able to then just rest and look back. Maybe this is somebody who is, are you like nearing retirement maybe? Ace of Cups. There's a lot of emotional energy here. A lot of water signs. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio might be relevant. But yes, ultimately you want to look back on your life and say, you know what? I did that. I did those things. I took the risk. I took the leaps. I did all the things that I wanted to do and I set out to accomplish, even whether they whether they were successful or not, whether they, you know, whether the outcome was what you had expected or not. It's less about the outcome. It's definitely more about the journey. You can definitely see that here in this spread. It's all about the journey. You want to be able to look back on your life and say, yeah, I had a fulfilling life. I had a life full of love. I had a life full of many different varieties of feelings, of experiences, of things that happened. And you ultimately just want to have a lot of memories and not regrets. That's who you want to be.